Welcome, everyone. It is Saturday, September 16th, 2023. We have an extra special show for you today. We're coming to you live from the swamps of Louisiana, and we might have a surprise or two. So let's get rolling. Louisiana. From its iconic cities to the swamps of Acadiana, its geography is just as diverse as the people that live there. To this day, family is at the core of who we are, and one of the things we love to do is share. As a rainy Cajun, I might be what you consider a Louisiana expat. Now living in the Seattle area, one of my missions in life has been to share my culture and introduce more people than ever to the place that I still call home. So grab your favorite beverage, find a spot to sit back and relax. The next episode begins now. All right, gang, here we are. I got a little mic reverb here. I'm going to try and get through real quick. See if this helps a little bit. All right. Still getting a little reverb here. If I got dual inputs going on. Nope. Okay. Well, we will figure this out. It was working fine before. Always seems to happen that way. Let me see. We take that down. No. Okay. Well, we'll just deal with it. And I'll tinker around as we go through the show. So, anyway, here we are today. And we've got something really cool planned. I've got my son, who is actually down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he's actually going to be on a swamp boat. And I'm actually looking at him in the green room right now. And so they're moving at the moment. And as a result, he can't hear too much. He's got some headphones on. But I'm going to switch over to the green room. And Kai, you don't need to say anything yet. We're just going to put you on and we'll take a look-see here. We don't need that guy. We'll assign Kai to guess one. There you are. Okay, so we'll kind of see how this all pans out. No pun intended. But you can see he's in the swamps. So, it's probably going to be a little bit funky. Let me see here. I'm going to turn that off. And turn these guys off. Looks like a pretty warm day there. And you can see they're out in the swamps. And so we're dealing with cell phone signals. That, as a result, you've got, let's see here, you've got with the cell phone signal, you've got kind of Oh, there we go. Got some feed there, and there's my son with this. Oh, and there's Grandma. And yeah, it does look hot out there. So he can't bring in audio at the moment because, well, it's louder than hell right now. So we're just gonna follow along. But he's actually at the airboat swamp tours. Um, this is a place that is just south of Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. And you can see here, there's a crane on a stump. And they said that they have good cell phone service, but apparently we haven't done any kind of testing live before. So I said in the description that we were going to more than likely have to deal with live issues. And the fact that we can even broadcast from the swamp while the airboat is moving is something pretty cool. Let me go ahead and let's see. I did not mute him. Let's unmute him. All right, Kai, you are no longer muted. So when it's safe for you, just text him real quick and let him know. I'm going to tell him it's... All right, so he's off doing his thing, and this is actually pretty cool. I haven't been on a swamp tour in a very, very long time, and it turns out that the one that we used to go to just outside of my mother's house, which is outside of Baton Rouge, they used to feed the alligators marshmallows. So I'm hoping we get something like that today, but I guess that really comes down to whether or not they stop, and apparently muted in sound levels. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that. Okay, Kai, you don't need to mute yourself. I got control, buddy. Okay. So this is live happening, and I got a harebrained idea late this morning, which is something you should never do. And yeah, so all you can hear is a fan right now, which on the back end would be pretty comfortable right now because it does look pretty warm. And so this is the basinlanding.com. This is their boating tours. Before, we were just on kind of a covered boat. This is actually an airboat, so they can go into the shallow waters, which is pretty cool because if you've got any kind of keel or anything that's going to drag along the bottom of the swamp, well, you know, that's not going to be the greatest thing for the boat and for the passengers. But, you know, every now and then we're getting good signal here, so you can see the water's passing along. And, yeah, it looks great out there. I'm actually pretty stoked. I almost feel like I need to... Yeah, Rich, I got you, buddy. Buddy Rich, who's a fellow podcaster on Ecamm, is he's watching right now as well. And there's gators, man. So looks like we yeah, it kicked you out. I'm like, come on back. Hey, cell phone signal in the swamp to begin with, you're doing pretty good. So I'm not at all disappointed by this. It is food for thought moving forward, but looks like we can bring them back. There it is. You can see they're starting to go into shallow waters now, which is pretty cool. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the airboat. When you start getting into this kind of stuff, you know, either the keel's going to get messed up or your engine's going to get messed up. So having an airboat's really cool. There we go. Oh, and look what's in the water right there. This was not planned. There's the gator. All right, that's pretty cool. Haven't seen one of those in a while, at least live. Right, we got to throw some music in here. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Add some ambiance here. So you can see there's a lot of toppled trees. Most of those are cypress trees. Those were logged heavily in the 1800s, and actually what they would do was that because the cypress would float, they'd float it down river to the mills and produce all kinds of lumber goods for the southern region. So cypress is a very common building product down in Louisiana, and I'm pretty stoked about that because we actually had at our brewery down in Auburn, Washington, we had a what do you call it? A bar top, and the bar top was made out of this cypress. Oh, it became known as sinker cypress, those logs that didn't make it to the mill. So you can get sinker cypress, but you can no longer harvest cypress, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, you know, that's what keeps the swamps and the soil erosion, the coastal erosion, from occurring any faster than it already is. It's some ridiculous amount, like X number of football fields per day of the coastline. So, and he gets bumped out again. So we'll just keep coming back and coming back. Eventually, we'll have a stable signal, or we just won't. You know, we'll call it a show, and it's all good. But we did get a chance to see a gator. So, Rich, there's your token for the day. Let's see if I can get him back on. Oh, he's texting me, which is generally not a good sign. Did it kick me out again? I'm sure he's going to say something like that. Or he's going to say something like, I can't keep doing this. Service is cutting out here. Yes, I know. You know what we need is one of those satellite phones so we can, you know, have a show that runs for half an hour and costs $1,000. He'll keep coming back. So something about the swamps, if you've never been on a swamp tour, you know, the swamps obviously is people associate gators with the swamp, but you've got all kinds of wildlife there. Most of it, the kind of stuff that you don't want to encounter, water moccasins, nutria, they look like big-ass hamsters with these massive gnarly teeth on the front. they were actually brought over to control the pests. I want to say it was in the 1800s, and what ended up happening was they became the pests themselves. So, it was kind of like, all right, well, that didn't work very well. So now what do we do? And now they're overrun with these nutrients. I don't think there's ever going to be. They're not going away in my lifetime. I know that much. But this is one of the cool things about the swamp is it's kind of its own ecosystem, and much like the forests outside of Seattle or other areas of the country, where you have these microclimates, there is very much a microclimate in the swamps. This is the Atchafalaya basin down in Louisiana, and the Atchafalaya basin kind of defines what is Cajun country. And I haven't been there enough, even though my family's from Cajun country and everything. We're going to do a whole series of episodes on that. But this is one of those areas where I'm still learning, for instance, all the ins and outs. I don't know about you, but if you own a boat, how you find your way back to shore in the exact location, I guess only comes through rote memory. Because even for me, as a pilot, oh, that's right, I'm a pilot too. As a pilot, I use navigation charts and landmarks, and everything's up high, so it's a lot easier to get my bearing. It's not so easy when you're water level. So we'll see if he dials back in. I would love to be able to see a little bit more, or he's just going to ghost me, which is what newly minted adult boys, I guess he's a man now. He just graduated from the University of Washington, and so I wonder if he's, it's going, okay, screw it, I'm not going to do this anymore. We'll see how this pans out. I have no problem with nixing the stream if that's what it ends up being, but this is live for you. I could have pre-scripted all this stuff, but that's not any fun. Going live means you're kind of dinking around with stuff and trying to make changes at the last minute or in real time, and that's part of the rush that is doing live. There's no retakes, and there's no editing, there's no color correction, there's no having to deal with this kind of stuff. It almost looks like, well, live is live. I mean, there's a lot of actors that'll tell you that when they did their shows live, if they had a series that was pre-taped, it was always nerve-wracking for them because it was one take only. And this is kind of what we're experiencing right now. And let me see. I don't know where he's gone. Well, hopefully we get him back. While we're waiting to see what he's going to do, if he's going to make it back, did anybody get a chance to try the po' boys we covered over the last 3 episodes? We start out with just kind of the basic ingredients of what it is to make a po' boy, then the right kind of bread, and then of course the right kind of seafood. So we did the fried shrimp po' boy, and then last weekend I did the roast beef po' boy, and I'm still eating that, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So if you haven't seen those episodes, please check them out. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe, because who in their right mind would try and do a swamp tour live from the swamps and only, you hear from the person who's working the swamp tours, oh yeah, we got good cell phone signal. Not seeing it right now. But it does say delivered, so he must be ignoring me. We'll see if he's planning on coming back. And then what do we have coming up? Oh gosh! Oh, there they are. Come on in. we got a surprise guest. You're sitting right there, and that's my son, my other son, Ren. And Ren is actually, he couldn't even be away from home for 2 weeks. He just went off to college, and he's learning how to fly as well. And so he's joining us in today. And you are now unmuted, so you can chit-chat.
Oh.
I don't think you'll be able to hear Kai because of the way the audio is being typed right now, so I might have to translate. Kai was right here, and we were watching him on the boat.
Oh, wow.
And we saw alligators and everything like that, and that was super cool. And then he dropped off, and now he's ignoring me and got roasted.
Oh. He'll be back.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you know what? He said that when they do stop, that the guy starts talking, the tour guide starts talking.
Oh, okay.
And, he forgot to bring his AirPods. So he'd be yelling into the phone, and that's a little bit on the rude side. So, yeah, it is what it is. But this is so he's actually about an hour away from your grandmother's house.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. But there was I'll play back some of the footage for you a little bit later. But I'm assuming that they've stopped, and these Louisiana tour guides, they love to talk. Getting them to shut up is the hard part. But we talked about the cypress, and I actually still have a bar that was made by a guy down in Louisiana using live edge cypress, and it's amazing. Looks great. And a sinker cypress came from the swamps. It was in his fishing camp, and then it made its way up to Seattle. When did we start? 10 years ago. Yeah, so it's been 10 years up here. Now it's just sitting in some dude's garage outside of Seattle. But eventually I'll bring it back. It's just heavy. So, maybe he'll rejoin us. Maybe he won't. This will be the quickest live episode I've ever done. I don't know if the software was really designed to handle this.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's the software. I think it's the self-service in the swamps. But
probably won't even hear him as much anyway.
Right. Yeah. So he's like I said, he forgot his AirPods, and if the swamp tour guide is yapping away, which he's probably doing right now, it is what it is. But, hopefully everybody's having a fine Saturday, and if you're watching this after the fact, I'll try and because obviously right now I'm filling time trying to figure out if my son's going to make it back on camera or not, and if he does, awesome. And if he doesn't, then we're just going to stop the show and call it a day. I'm going to eat some lunch. I just talked about the po' boys. Yeah. So, actually, we should go down to Alpha's after this and get some of that gumbo. Have you had that yet?
No.
So it's a chicken sausage gumbo with boudin mixed in, smoked boudin mixed in.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. So we should start seeing that pop up in the South too. We're hopefully going to make that all work out. So that'll be really cool. But it's either that or, it's Saturday, right? It's Cajun Saturdays, so it's either that or Popeyes. Website isn't loading for me. Okay, well let's see here. We're going to turn the interview off, and then we're going to turn it back on. And we'll copy the link. Copy. See if that works. I don't know. Rich, you probably could tell me if you're still watching if the links are persistent for interviews or not. For interview mode on Ecamm. but it worked for me this morning. I took the exact same link and it worked. I don't know if that link resets or not, but I guess we'll find out pretty soon. But anyway, so it's either Popeyes or Aldi's today.
Okay.
And this is what happened. You see on the floor there?
Oh, yeah.
Flip it over.
Yeah.
So,
Disaster.
yeah, this is my teleprompter. And, it became one with the caster on my chair. You can actually see the outline where the caster went bloop, and cracked it. So, as much as that has served me well, it is no longer in operation. You can look at it, to turn it on the side where the crack is, the other side, you can see that is not a normal shape for an iPad. That did not come from my butt, that came from a chair. Thanks, Rich.
Like, someone sat on it though. Like a leg print right there.
Yeah, that's not good. So we're gonna go find Dad a used iPad today, hopefully, so we can get that working again. Because I keep turning to. I've got 3 different screens of myself, and the one that I need is where the teleprompter is normally. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm not looking off camera because I'm distracted. It's because my teleprompter is shattered. So, well, he is saying that the link's not working for him. So I don't know if that's a cell phone service thing. But he was able to text. Obviously, it's a lot more data to grab. Maybe I'll tell him to reset Safari on the iPhone. Let's see. It'd be really cool to get him back. It's funny, they're all wearing earmuffs, right? Mm-hmm. They're all wearing earmuffs. They all look like they belong on the tarmac in an airport. And so Kai can't hear anything. He can't really say anything. He's got his Joe Biden's on, the aviator glasses. And so he's looking all spiffy and dapper and everything. But, dude, I'm telling you, Rich, that's gumbo's the real deal, man. We got this place up here in Seattle that brings in gumbo in frozen, like half-gallon tubs, and I'm telling you, when I say they bring it up, they bring it from actually where the swamp is, not from the swamp, obviously, but they do have. They've got chicken sausage gumbo, they've got crawfish etouffee, they've got seafood gumbo, and they're sold in these frozen tubs. There's a place called Poche's. It's Poche. And I do believe these ship pretty much everywhere. But man, it's like, it's quick and easy. You defrost the gumbo, and then it's ready to go. I like to give it some time to thaw correctly, but it's I don't know if we're gonna get them back. Gumbo with the boudin. So little tip for you, pro tip, there's a place called Best Stop. Best Stop is in it's in Scott, Louisiana. You got all these crazy French names like Bro Bridge, the way it's spelled on the screen here, and everything else. Chapatoulas, Pontchartrain, and then Scott. I don't know what to say, but Best Stop and Scott, and they do sell online. They've got the one that I recommend is their smoked boudin. Nothing else in it, no garlic, none of that other crap, just the smoked boudin. it's perfect. It hits a spot. So you do chicken sausage gumbo and you slice up the boudin, and then you mix it in and maybe take a couple of sections of meat and squeeze it out of the casing and mix that in with the gumbo. Yeah, it hits a spot. Definitely hits a spot. I mean, we're not that far away from gumbo weather. I mean, I don't know. You're down in Texas, I believe. So I don't think anybody's thinking about fall right now, but it is definitely getting close to that time, and I'm looking forward to it personally. But yeah, it's already 50 in the morning here up in Seattle, but it gets up to 80 during the day. So go figure. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get him back. I kind of bummed about that, but I'm not gonna sit here and spin my wheels. Rich, I love you, buddy, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep a show going in hopes that he's gonna show up. Yeah, he's looking like he is. I'm gonna give him. But today it's 12:03 our time, so I'm gonna give him 90 seconds. Then we're gonna call it, and then we'll just have to. Hopefully, got some video. Somebody got some video from when they were actually out at the swamps. But I wanted to surprise Kai with his brother. Yeah, I know. I'm right with you, Rich. I'm right with you. Hopefully we'll get some more time, to see him. But this was like the perfect opportunity. Kind of a drag, but this is live. Yep. It's not looking like he's gonna make it back. Well, okay. Well, it is what it is. We'll probably call it for today. But this is what happens when you don't pre-plan and you don't test thoroughly ahead of time. So note to self, before I do any future lives from a remote location like the middle of the swamps in southern Louisiana, I'm going to give it a test. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it. Rich, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And we'll probably edit this up a little bit later, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just get lazy and just leave it up, and people will have to sit through in hopes that there's going to be something right at the end of the video. So take care. Hey. You guys take care, and thanks for joining us again, and have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you next week. All right, cheers.